Oh, you're live.
Oh, I'm live. Nothing like sticking my face right in the camera. Good afternoon, everybody. This is Sherry down at Stitcher's Quest. And today we're going to chat a little bit about quilting, specifically long arm quilting on our beautiful Q24. The Q24 is thus named because it has 24 inches of throat space, which allows you to do a lot of quilting without having to advance the machine, and it's just wonderful. We also have the Q20, which has a smaller frame, so that the folks with a little less space can fit those in their house because this is a beast. Um, we do, in case you didn't know, we do offer quilting services here at Stitcher's Quest. We have for several months now, and we are all nice and caught up. We were having a little bit of a problem last year, but we're all caught up now. And we are aiming to have less than a 3-week turnaround on your quilts. Now, that doesn't mean everybody can dump their COVID quilts on us and we'll have 100 quilts in here tomorrow. We might not make the 3 weeks then, but that's our aim. So bear with us if we get a little behind. We'll certainly let you know how things are going, but that's the goal, is to try to get your quilts out as timely as possible, still maintaining the quality that you expect from us. So when you bring your quilt in, we are going to ask you a couple of questions, and we're going to ask you to tell us the size of it, make sure that you've got the backing is big enough for it, because we need about 4 inches all the way around it so that it will go on the frame and everything will work the way it's supposed to work. We will double check to make sure that we offer a lot of batting for your needs. Let me just give you kind of an idea of what we've got in stock here. We've got Airlight, which is really great for the South here. We've got Pellin, 100% cotton. We've got a bamboo cotton blend. We have 100% bamboo. We have Warm and Natural, and we just got in some 100% wool that is just luscious looking. Can't wait to try that out. We are very comparable in our prices to the area. We charge 2 cents a square inch to do edge to edge basic computerized quilting. And what that means is that you will come in and go through our book here that has probably close to 100 stitches in it, and you'll pick out a stitch. Hey, there's a stitch. You'll pick out a stitch, and we will program the machine to do that stitch all the way across your quilt, up and down, sideways. And I don't know if you can see, no, probably can't see the screen very good, but so we will ask you to pick out a stitch. We'll ask you to pick out your thread color, and then we will ask you what kind of batting you want, and anything other specific things, if you have a directionality on your quilt. And that's one of my tips, is that you need to be very specific with us in your wishes so that we make sure that we all have the best experience possible with our quilting. If I have any questions, I will definitely give you a call, and I'd rather ask first than to find out that no, that wasn't quite what you wanted. So anyway, when you come in, we'll ask you to spend a couple of minutes with us to make sure that we get all your particulars down, and to make sure that we have all the directions that you wish, and that we produce the finest quilt that we can possibly produce for you. We also carry a good selection of your wide back cottons, so we could be your one-stop quilting solution here. Bring your top in, we will set you up with some backing, some batting, some thread, and you're on your way. Pretty easy peasy, huh? The only thing you have to do is bind it. Our feature thread that we like to use here is Isacord, which is a very superior thread, stitches out beautifully. We have a very wide selection of colors. I'm sure that we can blend or accent whatever quilt that you have going on. So that's our complete service, is when you, like I said, you bring the top in, you drop it off, we quilt it, we call you up, you come get it. Now we also are going to restart our certification programs so that you can quilt your own if you want. And what that is going to entail is that we will set aside a date, and you will bring in your quilt, and I will be here with you through the entire day. We will load the quilt, we will pick out the design, the thread, the batting, everything. We will get the machine set up, and you will actually learn how to use it. I'll be here to keep you comfortable, make sure that you're comfortable the whole step of the way. So then after that, once you're comfortable with the machine, and we all know that you're very good at operating it and everything, then you can rent it on an hourly basis and come in and do your quilts yourself. Now, you do have the option of doing free motion on this, and it's a very sweet machine to do free motion quilting. My only caution is that if you are not familiar with free motion quilting, you've not ever tried it on even like a domestic, on a little placeholder or a wall hanger or something, probably not your best option to start on this machine and try to come in and learn how. I don't think I could teach you in a day how to free motion quilt. So we'll probably just stick with doing the computerized edge stitch, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, everybody's got their own learning curve. So some of the and again, that's going to be to rent the machine. That'll be on the website, and you can sign up for that, or you can call in the shop and see what days we have it available, and then I'll be getting in touch with you to make sure that we have that all set up for you. So I want to just give you a couple examples of some of the quilts that I've done recently. This is a very nice quilt. It's got lots and lots of color in it, and we have used a variegated thread. So I'm going to try to get this way up in front of here at the camera. So I don't know if you can see it, but that variegated thread just really blends in beautifully with that quilt. So we have the ability to blend or accent your quilt. Here's another one in which the thread blends in very, very nicely, and it just makes a beautiful overall design. And with the cute little owls there. So we can accommodate up to a king size quilt on our Q24. So I think that we could probably take care of any of your quilting needs that you might have. Before I leave you all, I know this is kind of a quick little outline here, but before I leave you, I want to give you a couple of tips for whenever you're bringing your quilt in to make sure that we all have the best experience that we can. Make sure that your seams are intact. If you have a quilt that does not have a solid border on it, such as this quilt here, if your quilt ended with these blocks that are sewn together, you would want to make sure that all of these stitches are intact. And one way to make sure of that would be put a little stay stitching, or about 1/8 of an inch, around the edge of the quilt. The quilts do get a little bit of moving and tugging while we're putting them on the machine. We're not yanking them around, but they do get a little bit. And sometimes when you have those pieced edges on your quilt, that first couple of stitches is going to want to pop out. And it just makes it a whole lot nicer if that doesn't happen and I don't return a quilt to you with pop stitches in it. So that's a good tip anyway, even if you're quilting your quilt on your own machine at home, is to put that little stay stitching around the edge. And that way, when you're handling it and moving it around and stuff, you don't ever get those little stitches to pop out. When you have a backing that you have pieced, if you'll press that seam open, then you'll get a nice flat profile on the front of your quilt. If that seam is pressed to the side, you'll tend to get a little bit of a ridge wherever that seam is. So if you'll press that seam open, you'll be a lot happier with that. I did talk to this a little bit before. When you bring us your quilt, please be specific in what you want, because it'll just help everybody get what they want. If you like a lot of quilting on your quilt, let us know. If you like a little less, you like it to be not quilted to death, then we don't want to quilt your quilt to death. Your thread color. We've had a couple of ladies that have brought their quilts in and they have used the backing to fold over and to make the binding, which is a great thing to do, especially like with wall hangings and stuff. Let us know. We can accommodate that. That way that we will make sure that the stitching stays right at the edge of your quilt top so that you will be able to just fold that backing over with no problems. And if it's directional, if you have a pieced backing that needs to go one way or another, these are the kind of the things that if you'll let us know this when you drop the quilt off, they'll make the notes on the work order for you, and then we'll make sure that everybody gets exactly what they want, and they're very happy. And that's what we want. We want you to be happy. We want you to come back, bring us all your quilts, and we will be just stitching away for you. If you've got any questions, please give us a call here at the shop. Again, my name is Sherry. I will be your major long arm specialist. Carol is actually around. She works out in the shop part-time also, and she's doing some of the long arm quilting. But I'm the major person that's here. I'm usually here on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, but I'm available at a phone call anytime you need me. So come see us, and we'll be happy to make your quilt dreams come true. Thanks. Bye.